Hey guys, Stitches here, and this is a very special Let's Play of a very special game to me. This is YuGiOh The Sacred Cards. YuGiOh The Sacred Cards is a very, I wouldn't say very, but it's kind of an obscure YuGiOh game. It's available as a part of the YuGiOh Early Days collection, which is what I'm playing this on. That's why you see the border. Which, by the way, presentationally, I thought this looked amazing. The border and everything. So, YuGiOh The Sacred Cards is a bit of a weird game. It's obviously based off of the YuGiOh trading card game, which I've talked about my interest about in the past. By the way, I have no idea if there's an actual demo. I think there might be, but I think it's just a duel. So, YuGiOh The Sacred Cards follows different rules than the actual Yu-Gi-Oh card game. There's a type affinity system, or there's plenty of attributes, and there's like an attribute affinity system. I actually got inspired to make a card game inspired by this that I've kind of been like toolboxing with on my own. I don't know if I can necessarily release it commercially though, because of the fact that it would, you know, it would kind of be taking from this. But this game has a type affinity system. The way it rules certain actions and when you can do them is differently. The card pool is very limited, and this is a Game Boy Advance game, so they weren't really... Yu-Gi-Oh games are kind of interesting in the idea that they were compounding. I believe this is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 7 in Japanese, because they kind of were just like, it's the 7th Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters game. And yeah, we really went 7 games, but I believe it's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 7, The Duel City Legend. And it's based on the Battle City arc of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which, if you don't know, is kind of the most iconic arc in Yu-Gi-Oh! So we'll kind of be going through the most iconic part of the anime, but with our own little OC self-insert type guy. And when I mean that, like, we end up royally screwing over some characters and altering the story in some very interesting ways, especially towards the climax of the plot. So, I guess to start, we gotta name ourselves. I think it's obvious what name I'm gonna pick. Being Stitches. I actually, the way I first played this game is it was just kind of in a list of games that I had on an SD card. And I ended up playing this, and I was like, this is a very interesting game, and I remember it being hard, but if you think this game is hard, the sequel is way harder. My name is Stitches. The Battle City tournament is today, Stitches. Am I even gonna attempt to do the Joey Wheeler voice? I don't know if I will. The Battle City tournament is today, Stitches. Good morning, Stitches. Have you made your deck? Hey, my deck is something special. Took me all night, but it's the best ever. Stitches, did you put together a good deck? No. Huh? Are you kidding me? Better get it together. There's still time. Make it stronger as you battle. Okay, let's get going. I don't want to be late. I guess I'm kind of doing it. I'm not going like full. But yeah, you can save the game at your computer in your house. This game is very interesting because all the environments are pre-rendered, which I think is a very interesting look. You can also run very fast. Hey, look at that. Everyone's here already. Look at all the tough duelists. Wow, this is exciting. And there's Seto Kaiba. with his weirdly penile-shaped sprite. Fellow duelists, welcome to Battle City. Let me explain the tournament's rules. The tournament takes place throughout Domino City. Wherever duelists meet in the city, that shall be where the duels take place. Duelists may play using only their own decks. The loser must turn over one rare card, the victor. 8 winning duelists will enter the final round. The final stage is hidden somewhere in town. Each of you duelists has received a locator card. You must defeat others and get their locator cards. When you have gathered 6 locator cards, you will have the map to the final duel stage. You may duel with those puzzle cards at stake. In other words, only those who win duels will obtain the 6 locator cards and will earn the right to get up on stage for the finals. The tournament commences at 9 a.m. sharp. Now, fellow duelists, scatter throughout Battle City. It's finally starting. Yeah, you bet. Even us, we're rivals from now on. Try to hang into the end stitches in Yugi. Sure, why not? I'll do my best to. Don't get caught careless. Joey, I think you should be careful of yourself. Haha, don't worry about me. Once you've collected all the cards, let's meet up. We should gather at my grandpa's toy shop. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Alright, I'm off. Both of you don't lose until the finals. See you. So, to kind of give preface about what YuGiOh is, YuGiOh is a card game. Or YuGiOh is a manga that's kind of revolved around Yugi, our protagonist over here. And he has this Millennium puzzle around his neck. You can kind of see it in his sprite there. It's that little gold pixel on his chest. Upon solving this puzzle, he gained an alternate personality, which was more sinister, and would punish bad people by putting them in shadow games, or Yami no game. Which basically was a game where if you lose, you fucking die. So, yeah, Yugi was kind of murderous. They toned it down as the series went on, and it became more of like a card game, children's card game focused thing. Eventually, they focus on a card game called Duel Monsters, which is what the YuGiOh trading card game is based on, is the anime rule set of Duel Monsters. Although the anime rules have never been exactly one-to-one with the real rules. It seems like in the anime there are certain restrictions missing from the real card games. So this is also kind of more of a make-believe version of the card game. To explain that. But like I said, this takes place in the Battle City arc. You know, Pegasus got beat at the Duelist Kingdom. The guy who beat him, Yugimoto, is here. He must be terrifying, I bet. I'd better watch out. What he's talking about is actually an event that happened in the first season of YuGiOh. Okay, I wanted to talk to you. I heard some duelists are playing with their lives, just so they can collect rare cards. That kind of tenacity, it's too much for me. Whoops, tournament's about to start. Shouldn't be caught wandering around here. He'd be using pickings for a skilled duelist. It's gonna start soon. You should get lost in the town before 9. Huh? It's not 9 yet. Let's have a duel after 9. It's not time yet. Don't get too hot and bother. What? What did you just say to me? I don't think that means what you said. That things you mean. It's not 9 o'clock, Stitches. I should be going too. Go for it, Stitches. So we need to find all the special duelists, and you can challenge duelists to a duel by pressing the right bumper on the Game Boy Advance. So, no one will duel us yet. But guess what? I saw Weevil Underwood. He's the former Japanese champion. There are other famous duelists here too. A whole bunch of them. I'm getting stoked over this. Are you a duelist too? Only duelists of level 5 or better are eligible. The tournament is really strict about that. You must be a decent duelist. I suppose. I'm not particularly skilled at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Unfortunately, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has left me in the dust in modern years. I still understand it, but I cannot, like, actively engage in the competitive scene of the game because it just gets too wild for me. Sure, but wait, I'll duel when the time comes. If I don't duel anyone who's too uncool, it'd be a waste of time. They all scurried off into the town. But I'm making my stand right here. My loud and proud dinosaur deck isn't for hiding. Sneaking around isn't right for it at all. This guy's name is Rex Raptor. I believe his Japanese name is just Dinosaur Ryuzaki, so it's kind of a similar name. Here, cards represent power, nothing else. The loser, whoever it is, goes into the gutter. This should be amusing. Tournament starts at 9. You should pay attention to what people tell you. Or here's Bones. Hehehe. This tournament, I'll show them. I'll keep winning and humiliate everyone. My ghost deck will spell doom to their hopes. Hehehe, I hate bright places like this. I'll be waiting for you somewhere dark. Until then. Funny story about Bones. I used to know somebody who claimed he thought Bones was a girl. Yeah, I don't know how you thought that was a girl. There aren't many girls in the tournament, but gender doesn't matter in card battles. I'm gonna last until the end. Wait later on, okay? After 9 o'clock. We all swore allegiance to Mr. Weevil Underwood. We're the Insect Deck Army. We're going to dominate this tournament. Explaining Weevil Underwood and Rex Raptor. By the way, I might flip-flop with characters' Japanese names out of habit, considering the last time I watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, I watched it in Japanese. And by the last time, I mean the current time, because I've actually been currently watching it. I just got to the Battle City arc. So, check the time. Pay attention to the rules or be disqualified. Mr. Underwood's going to win this tournament, and he's going to become the true champion. You're just bait for our insect decks. Haha, what's your hurry? Can't wait to get beaten. Aren't you the weird one? Challenge me once the tournament begins. Most of the NPCs will say that they need to wait until the tournament begins. So, Weevil Underwood was the Japanese Japanese national champion in the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! He beat Rex Raptor in the finals, and Joey placed somewhere in like the top 8. You were chumming around with Yugi, weren't you? You tell Yugi this. I'm going to beat you. Good, but good this time. Seto Kaiba is going to enter the tournament too, but I don't want to duel that guy. There's no way of beating his legendary Blue Eyes. Speaking of Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can obtain it in this game, don't worry. Aren't you impatient? The tournament hasn't even started. We'll feast on you next time we meet. And then they leave, and then you get a little dinky-dink. We can actually leave. We can come here to this. This is Yugi's grandpa's shop. Hello, welcome. I haven't opened the shop yet. Oh, there's something I should tell you. Challenge other duelists by pressing the R button. Why am I making him British? That's very important. Don't forget it. Have you dueled against other people? Oh, I no longer duel. Not good for his health. Health. Help, what am I talking? So, Yuki's grandpa's a little weird in this game. He actually doesn't run a card shop. I don't know why he doesn't run a card shop. He runs the card shop in the sequel to this game. But in this, he's kind of just stated to run a toy shop, and he doesn't actually have, like, much of anything he can do. So you can't buy cards from him, is what I'm trying to say. Also, if you're wondering why I picked this game and not the very first one, I did consider doing the first one, but I wanted to play this one because it's fresher in my mind. I have better commentary. I've done 2 playthroughs of this game recently. One was a normal run, and one was a run using the enhancements menu provided by the YuGiOh Early Days collection. The enhancements menu basically allows cheats where you can remove the deck capacity option, or you can max out the deck capacity option and make it so you can only play the most powerful cards. Additionally, you can add cards to your deck you're not supposed to have. I can't explain which ones because it's kind of a spoiler for the game later. Duelists have come from all over Japan for this. People say that a group of card robbers came too. I think they call themselves the Ghouls. You'd better be on the lookout for them. That's actually the Japanese name for the rare hunters. It's not time yet. You should scram if you want to survive. If you battle where the other duelists are, you'll get to see what you have in your deck, right? Anyway, here we have Mako Tsunami. I lost against Yugi and them at Duelist Kingdom, but not this time. I'm taking the prize money and buying a boat. I won't let anyone get in my way. Wait, it's not time yet. We'll meet again somewhere in Battle City, bro. I don't remember you saying bro. Nah, I'm gonna lie low in the town. Let's duel if we run into each other again. Look over there, Underwood and Raptor. There's no way I can take them on right away. I'm heading into the town right from the get-go. The whole town is the Battle City, huh? You have to hand it to Seto Kaiba. There's the guy who knows how to think big. The square is only the starting point. Most duelists have already scattered from here. I need to get going too. There's Tristan here. Yo, Stitches, do you know how to make a challenge? If you want to duel somebody, press the R button. That's how you challenge someone to a duel. You're getting ahead of yourself, Stitches. Wait till the 9 o'clock rolls around. Here's Tristan's dog, the titular character. I actually thought this was my dog when I first played the game. Also, one weird change I want to talk about in the sequel. When they made the sequel to this game, they changed the outside of the house to make the gate open, so that way it was the same. You could easily just walk through. It's a very weird choice. I came to this tournament for one thing: legendary cards. From what I've heard, they're extraordinary. They say that they're invincible. There are legendary cards in this tournament that I'll talk about later. Out of all the duelists, the top 8 will include Seto Kaiba, Underwood, Roba, Raptor, Valentine, and that Yugi guy who beat Maximilian Pegasus. I hope I can avoid them on my way up. Do you know why I became a duelist? It's because I looked up to my Valentine. It's a dream come true to compete against her. Anyway, here she is. You were with Joey Wheeler earlier, weren't you? I'm gonna prove I'm the best duelist here. I'm gonna take this tournament, just watch. And I'm taking down Wheeler and Yugi. I'm not doing that laugh. Whoa, slow down, baby. I'll take you on if the opportunity arises. See you. Alright. Hey, it's starting. Okay, let's go. I won't lose. Is there anyone I forgot to talk to? YuGiOh, it's about time. Joey Wheeler, you just wait. I am the Duel King. This is where I prove it. Bro just walked right past me. So now we can actually duel people. You can kind of just go anywhere. But the first place I'd recommend you go, and yes, I know we're 21 minutes into the video and I haven't actually dueled anybody. There's kind of a long startup. That's not where I want to go. I recommend walking your butt back to Tristan and challenging him to a duel. So let's talk about this. This is the trunk screen. It opens every time you do a duel. And if you look at the details of card, you can kind of see how it's laid out. So in this game, you have the card's name at the top of the card, or at least what they can fit on it. You have the card's level, which is represented by star symbols. You have its attack and defense, which are represented by the A and D values on the bottom of the screen. And additionally, you have the monster's type and summon. The monster's type is zombie, and the monster's summon is fiend. Type is used more for interaction with card effects, where summon is used more with interaction with other monster cards. There's also a cost, which is how much deck points you actually need to put the card in your deck. Your deck has to be exactly 40 cards and can be no more, no less. There's also flavor text for most cards, being a ghostly spirit of a wild animal that roams in the wastelands. This card could become troublesome if encountered in number. So to start, we'll use this card as ante. Tristan's gonna start, and he starts by normal summoning a monster. So the way this game works is that monsters have levels. This normally doesn't matter, but it does here. In this case, because this monster is a level 5. Level 5 and 6 monsters require 1 sacrifice. Level 7, 8, 9, and 10, I believe, require 2. Or it might just be that level 7 to 8 require 2, and then really high level monsters in this game require 3. So I'm going to use this Muyan Curry card. Player's LP will be restored by 200. You can press the left trigger to view stats. This just does blackout so you can see. This also helps because you can see here this card has 1450, but it's only represented as a 14. This is kind of a limitation, but it lets you know usually what the card has. You can, of course, look at this. You can discard and turn or check the details. Additionally, you can press R to look at the opponent. On this screen as well, you can see the opponent's deck and life point total on top, your deck and life point total on the bottom. If your life points hit 0, you lose. If your deck goes to 0 and you can't draw, you lose. So you win either by deck out or depleting your opponent's life points, or a special win condition, which do exist. Anyways, for now, the most viable move is to simply just summon out your strong stuff. You don't really have enough cards to make a strategy at the start, so we're kind of just going to be dueling Tristan over and over. There you can see an example of summons. So summons, the way they work is that summons have a type thing. There are two types of summoned, like summon cycles. One's with a circle and one with an arrow that points up, like you can kind of see. So the ones with a circle go forest. Here it goes, water beats fire, fire beats forest, forest beats wind, wind beats earth, earth beats thunder, and thunder beats water. And then water beats fire. Yeah, so water, fire, forest, wind, thunder. I'm missing one, actually. Which one am I missing? Fuck, I am missing one. That's 5. Water, fire, forest, wind, earth, thunder. Wait, fire, water, forest, wind, earth, thunder. No, I'm not missing one. I'm actually fine. But, yeah, the ones that are using this system, you can figure out which cards are weak to which. There's also a second one, which is light beats fiend, fiend beats dreams, dreams beats dark, and dark beats light. And those, as you can see, the fiend is a part of the shorter circle. So you do need to kind of be wary. You can metagame by knowing which cards are technically more valuable playing pieces. Cards will stay face down and hidden from the CPU. Like this. Most of the time your opponent will attack a defensive position card, though. But yeah, early on, the duels are going to go slow. They will pick up in speed as you get better cards and as the game moves on. And if you know what a card does in real life, there's a chance you don't know what it does in this game. Sinister Serpent was notoriously one of the best cards in the game when it released in real life. Here it doesn't do shit. Here it's just a really weak vanilla monster. That is to say, it has no effect. That does actually nothing. So you can see there, he kind of did that. And I was going to summon this, but I have the much more powerful Morinfen. So you can see a single tribute is required. So if I go and I press A on a monster, I can sacrifice it and do this. Cards in your hand become getting a little E symbol, meaning you can't play them. What does this look like? Freakish winged fiend with a pointed head that, like that of a fish, with long arms and in a hooked talons. But yeah, you want to play your big cards so you can deal lots of damage. Right now, even getting monsters that are close to 800 attack points is a luxury at best. And this card is one of the best in the game. This is Doron. Doron is what I like to call a duper. And this is because Doron has an effect that summons a second copy of itself. It makes it very good tribute fodder, very good defending fodder, and early game it is a decent power level. One thing I will say is compared to other Yu-Gi-Oh games, there's no fusion mechanics in this game. They decided to remove it. Duel victory. Your deck capacity increased by 5. You got some domino. Rose Spectre of Dun was obtained. Ooh, that's actually a pretty decent card. It's got 2000 attack. But sadly, we're too low to put this card in your deck. You won't be able to see what a card does if you you won't be able to see what a card does if you are too low level to put it. Anyway, this first video is going to be mostly me battling Tristan. I might make some story progress, but I'm not going to say to count on it. You can see there, we actually managed to hurt Tristan. Sorry, it's called Shadow, not Dark. So Shadow is weak against Dreams and is good against Light. Here we got our Saber Slasher. Ooh, this is a ritual card. So ritual cards are weird. They're separated into spell cards and monster cards. Playing a ritual spell card is really good because they all cost 0 in this game. However, inversely, ritual monsters all cost insanely high amounts to put in your deck. So the way this works is that you basically ritual summon your monster from outside the game. So this says a ritual summoning for a Mask of Shine and Dark with tributes. For this, 2 monsters and Mask of Darkness are needed. And here we happen to have Mask of Darkness, so I think I'll try and show that off if I can. There's a chance I either wipe them out too fast or don't get the tributes. Oh, here we got Dark Hole. This will wipe out every creature on the field, so if you play this, it board wipes the opponent and your cards. You can just set a card so you can get it out of your hand. But yeah, ritual cards are treated as their own card type in this game. Normally, they're just spell cards. Ooh, Pot of Greed. You do start with Pot of Greed in your deck, and you can only play 1 Pot of Greed. I'm just letting you know. So don't waste your time trying to get a second copy. It's just not worth it. Anyway, let's see if I can show off the ritual summoning. I mean, next turn, no matter what, I will have 2 monsters. Alright. So I'm going to sacrifice my... Actually... Yeah, if you hold ZL in this, you can rewind. I'm really not gonna rewind that much. Okay, you can tribute monsters the turn they are summoned for a ritual spell. Okay, I wasn't sure how it worked in this game. So, Contract a Mask. we'll transform this into a whopping 2k beater. Interestingly, it's face down. Divine is sort of the hidden summon. All ritual monsters are divine in this game. So, you know, as you can see, we can't put this card in our deck because it costs 255 fucking points. But all ritual monsters, I believe, are also vanilla monsters. But divine monsters are immune to the type thing, meaning they can only be beaten out with destruction effects or spell and trap cards that destroy, or spell and trap cards, or what am I trying to say? They can only be beaten by spell and trap cards that destroy them, monster effects that destroy them, or just by battle. Duel victory. Sky Dragon was obtained. We can play that card. This card's not bad. It's a wind, though. Winds generally aren't, like, very good. I find that the Earth attribute, or the Earth summon, is very common in this game, so... Let's duel again, right? Actually, I'm gonna back out of this duel real quick with the rewind feature. I know I said I wouldn't, but if you pause the game, you can actually see your status, which will tell you your name, your deck capacity, your duelist level, and how many card locator cards you have. Additionally, how much money you have. We have 145 domino. But you can also view your trunk, which lets you see your entire collection. In here you can also press the select button to cycle between these, but you can reorder as well manually with the start button and then selecting. So you can either do it by the number, the attack, the number indexed, the attack, the type, the quantity, the stars or its level, the name, the defense, the summon, or its cost. And by cost, it means deck cost. So really quick, I'm gonna order this by type. So this is our deck. As you can see, we have cards like a Leo Wizard in our deck, Witch's Apprentice, Unhappy Maiden, Bone Mouse, Wandering Doom, Doron, which makes a copy of itself, Swordsman from a Far Land, Queen's Double, The Last Warrior from Another Planet. This card's insanely busted in the real game because it prevents both players from summoning monsters, or I believe tributing monsters. Melis Radiant, Little Chimera, Mask of Darkness, Morinfen, Fun Guy of the Musk, apparently. Wretched Ghost of the Attic. Hero Shadow Scout. Spear Cretin. Scalingle. Scalingle has the effect to draw a card, so this card's also pretty decently good, especially early on, because its deck cost is only 72, which is nice. We have Gale, Dogra, Sinister Serpent, Mechalian, White Dolphin, Saber Slasher, Dharma Cannon, Bolt Escargot, Zone Eater. Zone Eater is a normal monster here. Frog the Jam, not a real frog monster. Penguin Soldier, Flame Viper, Muka Muka, Sandstone, Pot the Trick, Morphing Jar, which unfortunately is a vanilla, Griggle, Abyss Flower, Dark Hole, Muyan Curry, Pot of Greed, which lets you draw 2 cards. Dark Hole board wipes, Muyan Curry gives you 200 life points. Pot of Greed lets you draw 2 cards, but only if you have hand space. You are hard limited to 5 cards. House of Adhesive Trap. It destroys attacking monsters with attack of 500 or lower. And lastly, Contract of Mask. So, you know. This is a very interesting hand. Now, if you don't like a card in your hand, you can discard, so we can activate Pot of Greed now. House of Adhesive Tape. Is that what this card is? Yeah, House of Adhesive Tape. This is gonna get some card advantage on me, but we should be able to eventually out card advantage. I'm gonna play Pot the Trick. Tristan's deck is pretty laughably weak, so do not worry if you aren't, like... Excuse me. Don't worry if you're like, oh, I'm not sure I can beat him. He is designed to be the grinding guy. He is the Matthew of this game. That is to compare this game to the Pokemon trading card game, which is a game I do want to play since that's on Switch Online as well. But I can only play so many card games at a time. You know. Sometimes as well, tribute summoning isn't really worth it. In this game, I think it's kind of worth it due to the fact that a lot of times you're going to be playing weak monsters that don't really do much. Keep in mind you can only play 1 monster from your hand per turn, though. So, you know, you're not going to be doing a whole lot with your turns. But yeah, you can see here we wiped out the opponent's monster and now they're going to lose. Witch's Apprentice. Oh yeah, this powers up shadow type monsters and powers down on light monsters on the field. This card is pretty decent as well. Powering up, the way it works in this game is when a monster is powered up, all attack gain effects are done in terms of... That's not what I meant to do. Meant to sacrifice you, play you, and obliterate your life. Attack point gain is done always in groups of 500, which is represented with power-ups. Ooh, this is actually a decent monster. Sayaryu. A sacred small winged dragon endowed with a divine power. Breathing a sacred fire, it incinerates minions of evil. Interestingly, Sayaryu's name in Japanese is, like its Japanese name. Like, I know the name is Japanese, but you get what I mean. Its name in Japanese is actually Holy Night Dragon. And it got remade into a card called Starry Night Dragon. I guess if you press L, you can also see cards by deck cost. I didn't actually know that. Oh, is this from a foreign land and not far land? Oh, well. But yeah, you can see your deck cost. I typically like to weed out what cards I want to play by deck cost. Or not by deck cost, but by attack points. So like, let's go here. We can see that our highest monster is that. Now, I wouldn't recommend playing too many level 6s. If you don't have a monster to summon, you just kind of lose. Leo Wizard isn't very good. It is a shadow type, though. Sandstone at least has the defense points to make up for its low attack. So we're going to remove Leo Wizard, and we're going to go into our trunk and put Ryu into the deck. At the start of every episode as well, I will be going over what's in my deck if I've changed anything. Oh yeah, see, this is kind of a heavy hand here. Like, I almost don't have any cards to tribute. You do need space to draw a card at the start of your turn as well, so if you're trying to refresh your hand and you have 5 cards in your hand, you need to be placing cards on the board. Chibi Hoji. No! How dare you? I could just tribute both of these to summon out CRU. Against Mechanical Spid. What the fuck's a spid? Probably shouldn't be saying that. It actually does sound kind of like a slur that I'm aware of. But yeah, if you don't have any monsters, your opponent can attack the life points directly. Oh, we got Doron. We're good. My deck will likely devolve into a Doron-based deck. Or like a duplicator-focused deck. This card's really good. There's an even better version of this card later in the game called Revival Jam. Which in this game also just creates a copy of itself from outside the game. But yeah, you can see big monsters can wipe out the opponent's life quite fast. Ogre of the Black Shadow. I think we'll duel one more time with Tristan. Just one more time. Also, there is a penalty for putting cards with a really low deck cost up for ante. Ooh, I just barely beat that. And it's that you get a worse card pool. But, the worst card pool actually does mean that, you won't really be getting much good, so you might as well ante a good card you're never gonna use. Even then, the card doesn't even have to be good or rare, it just has to have a certain deck cost requirement, which isn't very high. But yeah, you can see an early game Doron really fucks up the game for the opponent because you just duplicate it and then it's like, oh, well now I have it. Anyway, the only major problem with, oh yeah, you don't have any attack. I really need to remove you. I was like, what's the opponent's life at? Because I might just be able to summon a or use Dark Hole and immediately win. Alright, Tristan, what are we getting? Trihorn Dragon. That's insane. Trihorn Dragon is a really powerful card in this game. Unfortunately, it is a ritual monster, so it's divine attribute. So yeah. What time are we at? 52 minutes? Jeez. I don't even know if I want to duel anybody else. But yeah, I think I'll end it this one. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. You should also subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications. Additionally, you should check out the links in the description below. There's a link to my Blue Sky and Twitter social media pages where I post other thoughts and such. They're my only two official social media pages. There's a link to my Twitch page where I occasionally live stream. And there's also a link to my Ko-Fi page where I post content early or post exclusive content, and you can get in by being a monthly member, which costs $3 a month. And yeah, I will see you guys next one.